Well, hello, everybody. It is Monday night, and tonight's topic is going to be kind of fun tonight. But I have a special guest that's going to pop in, and I'll get them in just a second. And I just thought you would think it was fun. You know, sometimes he scoots in with me, but I sent him the link so that he could come right from his computer. So Joe is going to join us actually live. So that should be kind of fun. But tonight's topic is going to be fun because it's all about wives' tales. Which ones are true? Which ones are totally not true? And we'll see what kind of wives' tales that you have heard your whole life and if they're true or not true. And Teresa is here. And the other Teresa is here. Look at that. 2 Teresas in a row. That is awesome. So I'm going to pull Joe from the green room up here so he can say hi to everybody. So this should be kind of fun with Joe. Maybe we'll have him guess if that wives' tale is true or not true. So here comes Joe. There he is. It's so much.
Everyone.
It's pressure for Joe to be on. It's one thing if he can just come into the screen and then he's gone. But now he's on the mat. So everybody in the chat can just ask Joe questions too. And he'll have to answer because he's on live, right? So I am in my studio, though it looks like I'm on my front porch back home. And, oh, see, they're saying hi to you, Joe. Can you see the chat, Joe?
No.
Oh, if you pull your phone up on the live and just mute it so it's not talking, otherwise it'll reverb back and forth, you'll be able to see the live chat too. Both of the Teresas are saying hi to Joe, and they're laughing that you can't see the
Yeah, I don't understand all this stuff here.
But tonight's topic is going to be kind of fun because it's wives' tales. Now, our whole lives, when we're growing up, our moms tell us things, or our grandparents or aunts, and they'll say, don't do this because this will happen. Don't do this because this will happen. Like, don't eat. If you eat, you have to wait a half hour before you can swim or you'll get cramps. Now, Joe, is that a true or not true wives' tale?
I think that's true.
Well, gong. That is not true, Joe.
What? What?
Yeah, the whole time my mama would always say, well, you got to wait half hour before you can go to the swimming pool. Or you have to wait half hour before you can go swim in the creek or the lake. Not true. It's not true. They've done studies, and every one of these, I looked up the studies on what they were saying, if it was true or not true, and what they had done in this study to figure that out. So I know Teresa's saying what? Because she thought it was true.
Yeah.
I always thought that was true when I was growing up because my mother told me that how many times did we not go to the swimming pool until it had been at least a half hour?
Yeah.
But it's not true.
Huh.
Now, Teresa says, LOL, I'm with Joe.
I'm with you, Teresa. I'm sticking with it too.
Now, here's another one, Joe. True or not true? The other Teresa says, children should wait till their second summer before eating fresh fruit from the garden.
Never heard of that.
I haven't ever heard that either. Now, there is a thing that little babies, when they're toddler, real small, before they're 2 years old, they shouldn't have honey just because of the bacteria and enzymes that are in honey. So I know that is something that they shouldn't do. But eating from the garden, I'm not sure about that because my kids, as soon as they could eat regular solid food, they're pulling carrots out. So I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to have to do some research on that. That's an interesting one. Okay. True or not true for a wives' tale, Joe? You can use an onion when you get bites or stings because the enzymes in the onions will break down the pain.
I believe I have to go with that one. Yeah, onions are pretty good stuff.
That is true. The
Yes.
the
Yes.
enzymes in an onion break down the toxins of any kind of bug bite or sting. And so you can literally put it on your bee sting, say, or a wasp sting, and it will make it so it won't swell as much, and it will take those toxins out of your system. Now, don't eat the onion afterwards. Teresa says her parents always told her that one about the garden. That's interesting.
Can you put an onion on the bottom of your foot and pull toxins out?
They say that that you can do that. I have read that that's not true, but I've seen people talk about that it will pull the toxins out from the bottom of your feet that are in your body. But then I did read that that wasn't actually true. So I don't know. We'd have to do some research on that to see if that's true or not true. Okay, what about this one, Joe? You can get a cold from a cold.
From a pool?
No, you can get a cold from being in the cold. Like outside, you're outside, it's cold outside. Can you get a cold from that?
No, definitely not. No.
You can. That is a true wives' tale. There was some studies done, and when you're out in the cold, there's certain amounts of humidity and things that can affect, and it can give you a respiratory cold. So that is a true one.
I thought colds were like viruses or something.
Not all colds. So, if you heard thunder in the winter, then you will get lots of snow. I have heard that. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's thunder snow, it's called. It's true.
It's true. Joe says it's true.
It's thunder snow.
So we don't know if it's true or not, but Joe thinks it is. The truth according to Joe. Eating carrots will give you better eyesight. True or not true?
True. That's true.
They started that in World War II. The English fighter pilots, they were told to eat carrots to help with their eyesight. A study in 2005 at Berkeley in California proved that that was not true. So for 50 some years, they said it was true. Actually, more than 50 years. But according to some studies that they did, it didn't affect anybody's eyesight. Now, when they do these researches, I often wonder, say with the carrots, what Alpine Gulch is in? Hello, young lady. How are you?
The Alpine.
We are talking about wives' tales that are true and not true, and Joe is guessing if that is true or not true. We just talked about carrots helping your eyesight. Since World War II, they have said that, but a study in 2005 said that that was not true. But I wonder sometimes when they're doing these studies, are those carrots completely organic? Are they using herbicides or pesticides or something when they're growing those carrots? Because that could affect the outcome too. What kind of carrots are they using? Heirloom carrots or hybrid carrots? And so some things I think are up to debate still. And Teresa says that she keeps losing. So I appreciate that she comes back in when she's having trouble with her internet. Okay, Joe, true or not true? A pregnant woman having a boy child will be in labor longer than a girl.
They'll probably say it's true, but it shouldn't matter. That's just plum reasoning there.
Actually, women that are having boys are statistically in labor longer than when they're having a girl. No, I did not find that true personally, but statistically it says. And there are a lot of people who are saying untrue.
Not true. Yeah, I'm with you, Teresa. Yay.
But statistically, when they do all of the studies, that's what they show. But see, like, opposite for me. It was opposite for me. Yeah, Auntie was my first, and I was in labor 36 hours before they finally did a C-section because it was just crazy. But Teresa says 4 hours was all it took. That is fast. So he's with you, Joe. Okay, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
We all know that one's true.
Apples
are really good for you. It is true.
Most of the good parts of the apple are concentrated by the skin or in the skin. And so that's where you get the best benefits from an apple. Usually, anything that's above the ground, it's concentrated in the skin. Things that are below the ground, it's concentrated inwardly, which is kind of, I think, opposite of what it should be. And it's not true on every single thing, but an apple a day does keep the doctor away. Now, for me, the skin of an apple, if it is bought at the store, makes me cough. I think it's the pesticides, herbicides that they use in the fields, in the orchards. And if I peel it, I can eat that apple fine. But the apples back home that we grow, I don't usually have that problem. So I think it's the things they spray onto the apples. And if you get apples in the store, a lot of times they are coated with a wax so that they are shiny. Okay, what about chicken soup? Is chicken soup good for you, Joe, when you're not feeling good?
Oh yeah, that's a given there. Everybody in the world knows that one.
Everybody in the world know that.
Yeah,
well, that is true.
Yeah,
chicken soup with all of the different vegetables and the cooking process is actually very good for you when you don't feel good. I know that there are some interesting things, and this is what I was talking about, that for me, it's more logical that if it's in the ground, it's the skin that's the better part. But there are a lot of studies that are showing it is the opposite. And so I'm up in the air about that still. I'm going to do a little more research on that. But I thought it was interesting anyway. Okay, this is a tough one for you, Joe. Chewing gum stays in your stomach for 7 years before it's digested. True or not true?
That don't seem even logical that could happen, but I suppose it does.
Well, when I was growing up, my mom would say, don't swallow that gum. It's going to stay in your stomach or stay in your intestines. It's not true. It passes like anything else. So our parents were telling us things.
Lies.
Teresa says, give them 10 years and the answers will change.
Yeah.
I think that can be true. How many times have they told us not to eat eggs, and then eggs are good, and then eggs are bad, then eggs are good? Same with butter. Don't eat butter. You eat margarine. No, margarine's bad for you. Eat butter.
Yeah.
So things do change and studies change. And sometimes I think the studies are too small and too short of a time. And they're giving results when they don't really know the results yet.
And so sometimes they're funded by the wrong people.
That could be true. That could be true. How about this, Joe? You're a coffee drinker. Did your mom ever say when you're growing up, don't drink coffee, it stunts your growth?
That's what she said.
Is
but
it
I
true?
didn't drink coffee then, and I still didn't grow up.
Joseph. So you're saying that it's true or not true that it stunts your growth? Not true. It's not true. Yeah. But I heard that when I was growing up, but I never drank coffee. I never liked the taste of it. They're laughing. I Hope. How are you? Hope says that she's still hearing that today. It's not true though. People still say it's going to stunt your growth. Don't give it to your kids. It's not true. Kids drink tea. It has caffeine in it. They drink soda. It has caffeine in it.
Yeah. Look at all those energy drinks.
Yeah. Sometimes I think the message changes depending on what industry is
Yes.
trying to push the consumers. I think that's true too.
Yes.
Who is funding those research projects?
Yeah.
Okay, what about this, Joe?
Okay.
Now, sometimes Joe gets up in the night and drinks milk, and then he goes back to bed. It helps him sleep. But if you eat cheese before you go to bed, does it give you dreams?
Does it give you dreams?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never done ate cheese before I went to bed. It's
Teresa said that she drank coffee with her grandpa when she was 3 or 4.
well, cheese is a lot of milk, isn't it? Cream probably affects your sleep like milk. Yeah. I say dreams.
Actually, eating cheese before you go to bed will give you very vivid dreams, depending on the type of cheese that you eat.
Yeah.
They did a lot of studies in Britain and different kinds of cheeses, and the people in the studies had they had to write down what kind of cheese they ate before they went to bed, the amount, what kind of dreams they had afterwards, during the night. And it actually, if you ate blue cheese before you go to bed, you will have very vivid dreams. They found that if you ate cheddar cheese before you go to bed, you have very nostalgic dreams. So the different kinds of cheeses gave people different kinds of dreams. And I thought that was kind of fun and interesting, So
I don't like to dream. I'm busy sleeping.
Hope says she's trying cheese today. So what we should do, Joe, before we go to bed tonight, we should eat some cheese and see what kind of dreams we have. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Yay, blue cheese. I love blue cheese. Joe hates it. He thinks it's terrible. That's right. Cheese dreams.
Cheese dreams, no.
Okay. Did you ever have somebody tell you that on average, people consume 8 spiders because they sleep with their mouth open in a year's time? Did you ever hear that?
I've heard that.
Because when kids are little, their parents will tell them, sleep with your mouth shut because you'll get spiders that go into your mouth. It's truly not true at all. There is no data at all that shows that is in any way true. Phew, lucky for those people that sleep with their mouth open. Oh, look at there. I snack on sharp cheddar 2 times this last week and no dreams. Did you have it just before you went to bed? Oh, no, please. No spiders. It's just not true at all. And seriously, why would a spider go in your mouth? But I remember hearing that, people saying that when I was growing up, and it was like, one, why do you sleep with your mouth open? Because people do. That's why a lot of people snore. They sleep with their mouth open. But why would a spider go in your mouth? It would die. That would not even make sense. Okay. Cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. True or not true?
Not true.
That's right. It's not true. But when I was little, I would crack my knuckles. I would go like this and crack my knuckles. And my mom would say, I know I still do it. And my mom would say, that'll give you arthritis when you get older. But it's not true at all. It's actually air that's in between your knuckles. And that's what is popping. So not true at all. Oh, Teresa says she did eat the cheese before bed. Teresa, I want you to watch that and just see if you do it some more, if you have some dreams. Sometimes people don't remember their dreams. Like Joe doesn't remember his dreams. Mm-hmm. I remember my dreams. And Paul is here. How is Australia? I hope everything's good. Paul, we're talking about wives' tales that are true or not true. Joe is guessing if these wives' tales are true or not true. So I did some research on different wives' tales to see if they're true or not, right? And so, okay, 5-second rule. Is that true? Can you eat something that fell on the ground and you picked it up before 5 seconds?
I thought it was 3 seconds. That's
Well,
a good one.
even 3 seconds. Was that true or not true?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, you could
Studies show
definitely pick it.
the second something touches the ground, it immediately gets whatever it's touching. There's not a 5 second, a 3 second, a 10-second rule.
Oh man,
If
baby.
if it has that bacteria, you're eating that bacteria.
Man.
Oh, Carol is here. Hey, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Paul, thank you so much. Thumbs up. It always helps my analytics. I appreciate that. Carol says, ick. Drop it on the ground. Bacteria. Whatever it would touch, it would be on that food. Because all the time you see, people go, 5 seconds. I'm picking it up. They're eating it. No, don't eat it.
That's because it's too good to throw away, baby.
It either gets dirty or doesn't. That's right. It's if you got something, it's touching. It's there. Okay, this is one that my mother told me many, many times when I was growing up. Don't sit so close to the TV. It's going to hurt your eyes. True or not true?
I believe that one. Yeah.
It's not true. It could, if you watch TV for lots and lots of hours, it could give you an eye strain, but it would be gone the next day. But it does not hurt your eyes to be right next to the TV screen, right next to your computer. It's the eye strain that would be a continuous thing that may, in the long run, do something, but otherwise, it's not doing anything. And Jeannie's here saying hi.
Jeannie. Hi.
That's right. Sometimes they think it's a 5 second rule. They can blow it or wipe it off. But bacteria, it's there and it's staying. Oh, look at, they thought yes on TV. But statistically, when they've done studies, they say that it's not. Though my mom always said, don't sit so close to the TV. But when I was growing up, that TV screen was like 15 inches wide. Not those great big screens that we have now. And it's craziness. Okay, what about this one, Joe? Never wake up a sleepwalker.
I believe that. I was a sleepwalker. I was.
That's interesting because he doesn't sleepwalk now. I'm going to have to be watching him now.
Everybody say you're a sleepwalker if you want to get up and eat at night. And you got an excuse. I don't know. I'm sleepwalking.
Oh, and Ann is here. Hey, Ann, how are you? And we're talking about wives' tales on if they're true or not. And Joe is guessing if they're true or not. So the one that he is guessing is, do not wake up a sleepwalker. And Jeannie says that's true. Teresa says that's true. Joe says it's true. Well, it is true. There's actually a phenomenon when some people are in that deep REM sleep that they have actually, like Teresa's saying, that it can cause them to freak out. That is true. It can cause them to freak out, but it can also cause them to harm the person that woke them up. And in fact, there was some cases that they actually killed the person that woke them up. And it was a court case, and they proved that this person was a sleepwalker, and it was in the deep sleep, and they were not convicted of that because of, and they have a special name for it when you're in this one. It's a phenomenon that is this deep sleep that you can actually be very violent when somebody wakes you up when you're a sleepwalker. Oh, look at this. Hope says, I ran once till she was sleeping and she was running, but didn't happen to me again. My parents tried to wake me up, but they couldn't. Interesting. But I guess, and they don't actually have to be sleepwalking to have that phenomenon. If they're in the really deep part of sleep and you wake them up and they're sleeping in their bed, they can actually freak out. They can hurt you. So you just have to be a little careful. So Joe, if I have to wake you up, I'm gonna just take your jujitsu stick and just poke at you.
It'll be on, baby. When I would sleepwalk, I would remember it the next day as a dream, not as I was actually doing it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't ever sleptwalk. I haven't ever been a sleeper walker. That's probably why Joe likes zombie movies, because he was a sleepwalker. You think that's true, Joe? Okay, here's another one for you. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailor's warning.
That's true.
It is true. That it's because of the atmospheric conditions, and that's why the sky can be red in the morning or at night. And it does affect, because in our part of the hemisphere in the world, our weather usually comes west to east. And so then that is a true statement. And I thought that was kind of fun. Anne says that she used to have to wake her husband from a distance. See, he was one of those sleep REM people. My older brother sleepwalks with eyes open, would walk over to the toys on the floor, missing all of them.
Yeah, eyes were open.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I wish that I had to do that. That's what I'm going to tell you. In the middle of the night, I'm going to do something. I'll say, sorry, Joe, I was sleepwalking.
I wasn't eating, baby. That was sleepwalking.
Paul says that he did it before he had kids. He slept once before he had kids. I remember those days when after you had kids, you never. Yes, a 10-foot pole. See, Joe has his stick for when he's doing jujitsu, and I'm just going to do it like with that. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay, true or not true? Honey is good for a cough.
That's true. Absolutely.
It
enzymes
is,
in the honey.
It is true. And
Yep.
it's the enzymes, and it's actually good bacterias in the honey that can help with your cough. And that's why every pharmacy, grocery store you go into, you can get honey cough drops, because it has this chemical thing in there and the enzymes, and it can actually help your sore throat. And so that's why people put honey in their tea, or honey and lemon in their tea when they have colds and they don't feel well, because the honey is so good. And see, everybody thought that was true. Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Yeah. That was an easy one. But were there things that you guys in the chat heard when you were growing up? Type that in the chat, and we'll see if anybody knows if it's true or not true. And the one I thought was the most interesting was the carrots. That the study said that the carrots did not help your eyesight, because I always thought that was true. But I do wonder about the carrots, if they were using organic carrots, if there was any kind of spray, pesticides, anything like that. Did that affect their study? Carol says that growing up in South Carolina, I heard so many old wives' tales. I think it's easy for us, even now, we hear something and we repeat it because we think it's true without taking time to go, I think I need to do some research on that. Swinney Creek Farm, how are you? We just did our first honey harvest. Yay. Cleaned up a couple hives from some burr comb and got over 10, 12 pounds of honey. Oh, so excited. I'm so excited when we go back home in a month. Actually, probably less than a month before we go back home. And I'm going to take honey out of my hives. I didn't take any out before we left. And I do want to know if my honey bees are alive, because we had back home 38 below zero, 40 below zero, many, many times this winter. So I'm hoping that they are good. Eye doctor says beta carotene harms eyesight. If you are a smoker, or past smoker. Interesting. Oh, Alpine Gulch, you are so sweet. Thank you very much for that. And Joe, when you were growing up, what your mom or dad tell you that you thought that can't be true? Can you think of anything?
I could think of a lot of things they told me not to do.
But did you do those things, Joe?
You have to be very, very careful sometimes when you do stuff. No.
If you winter them down to a single box, they had a good strong colony, they will be fine. Our hives we've had for many years, there is just no way we could get them down to a single hive, a single super, you know. But most of them just had 2 supers. But I mean, they were, well, the one hive that we've had the longest this summer swarmed, was it 3 times, Joe? 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
And each time it brought about 3 pounds of bees. So we caught them and put them in other hives, others, regular beehives that we have. And they did great all summer long. And they are pretty protected, the different places that they are. And so we're hoping. Okay, what about this one? Don't cross your eyes. They will get stuck that way.
Yeah.
My mother told me that too. Okay, Jill.
Same with making faces.
Yeah, don't make that face. It'll stick. Those things aren't true. but they were funny. And I remember one time my mom's telling me, quit making those faces, or your face will get stuck that way. And so then I just kept making weirder and weirder faces. She didn't think I was funny at all. And okay, 2 will be fine if they had a good number of bees. Oh, packed with bees. They will retreat to the center and maintain their warmth. Yes, that's usually what I do. They cluster in there, and they had lots and lots of honey. There's water sources in our yard. And so, I mean, last year they were totally fine. But it just worries me when we have those days of negatives that are just so crazy. So when you go outside when it's cold with your hair wet, your face will change. Hope, I have never heard that one.
Never heard that one. Nope.
Interesting. But I do know that when you go out in the cold, it does tighten the pores in your face and on your skin. So, but I don't know about it. If your hair is wet, if that would even accentuate that, which it could. Okay, what about this one? If you spill salt, you have to throw some over your shoulder to avoid bad luck. I have seen people do that.
I've heard that one.
Throwing it over their shoulder. I don't know where that came from. It's funny. I don't believe that there's things that you can do that give you bad luck or good luck. So, so it's interesting. Alpine Gulch says, don't go outside with wet hair. Is that because of how cold it is outside? I don't know. I don't know if that affects your hair or not affects your hair. Interesting, though. That, Joe, we're going to have to write down and look it up. Jeannie says that she still does that with salt.
I like Jeannie. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
I do that with salt. Not sure why. They're superstitions. They're funny. And they're good in movies, like you got this Italian lady and she's cooking and, she's an older lady and something happens. She's throwing the salt over her shoulder. I love it. I looked that up as well. I will. That's, wives' tales are interesting. And it's interesting that for a while, when we were younger, people started saying, "Oh, wives' tales, you just can't even believe any of it." But then they started doing research. That's when they found out honey is good for coughs. Chicken soup is good for when you don't feel good. An apple a day actually helps you. So there's a lot of interesting things. I was told don't go outside with wet hair because you will catch a cold. Now you can catch a cold in the cold. So maybe that would make it easier to catch the cold. That could be true. I could see that, because the wetness and the coldness next to you, and there's more humidity, and that's part of the reason that you can get a cold when you're out in the cold because of the humidity. A watch pot never boils. I have heard this from my grandmother. Now, will it boil? Eventually, yes. And at the same rate as it would have if you weren't watching it. But I think my grandmother told me that because she figured I should be doing something while it was starting to boil instead of just standing there. So wear new clothes for Easter for good luck. What do you think about that, Joe?
No, wives' tale.
I'm wondering if people said that were stores, manufacturers, because they wanted to sell new clothes at Easter. But it's funny and it's interesting what we believe and what we don't believe. And it's some of them are really funny. The things that they tell us, it's like the spiders, 8 spiders in your mouth in a year's time when you sleep with your mouth open. Not true at all. And really, do you have that many spiders in your house? That doesn't even make sense to me. But Joel, it's 37 minutes. So that means we're past time. See how fast it goes?
It's fun.
Oh, so maybe I can get Joe talked into doing it more often with me. Oh, yeah. And as a kid, I always got a new Easter dress. So did I. Always. Either my grandmother made it or we bought one. And, oh, look who's here. The Bunky girl is here. Bunky, I got Joe here. Bunky is here.
Hey, Bunky.
Bunky says, hi, Mr. Joe.
Hi, Bunky.
Carol got a new outfit for Easter, too. I think that was something when we were growing up. That was just a thing. We got we got a new dress at Easter. We got new clothes just before school started, and usually something for Christmas, some kind of Christmas thing. Alpine Gulch says, thanks for the fun. Joe is so funny. That's right. Joe is funny. Here's another one for you, Joe. Yes, Joe, it is fun. The whole day went by so fast. When I'm on my live, I'm always amazed at how fast it can go. But there are a lot of lives every single night, and I hate to stay on more than about a half hour. Bunky, the Bunky girl, will be on in, I think, 22 minutes with her sisters, the Vineyard Chicks.
Hi, Bunkies.
So everybody can go over. Oh, that's right. New patent leather shoes. We always got new shoes at Easter, too, with our dress. It must have been... Yeah. Hello, Joe. Just because you were a hillboy and didn't get shoes.
We got a pair of new shoes at the beginning of the school year, and that was it.
Joe had a tough life. But everybody, we are going to let you go. Thanks for stopping in. I was hoping that Angie would stop in tonight, but she must have been busy. But I will be back on Friday with Late Night with Nana. And hopefully, maybe I can get Joe to pop in a little bit too. I don't know if I can get him to stay the whole time, but maybe I can get him to pop in a little bit. Look at other people only got him for school too, Joe. It's not just you.
Yeah.
Oh, Christine is just popping in. Christine, we are just leaving. If you watch the playback, we were talking about wives' tales, which ones are true and which weren't. And Joe was guessing which one was which. So everybody, I'm going to let you go. Have a great night. I have to fix Joe some supper now. And I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.